I think you've been addressed or asked this topic on some radio interviews about just Bronson and Nigel and their awareness of some things outside of basketball. And what do you think is the best possible outcome for them to be so active for them as individuals, for the team, and people who follow the team?
Well, I think the first thing is you have to applaud them for bringing awareness to both situations, and obviously the depth of their knowledge and their intellect in both of those areas really has helped me. I've learned a lot more, and I've talked to them both about it, both individually and as a team, and I really applaud them for what they've done and the stance they've taken. We've obviously supported them in two different issues that everything with the Black Lives Matter and that platform obviously has a ton of national attention, and rightfully so. But there's not as much attention given to the Dakota pipeline and that scenario. So I think they're using college for what it should be used for. You try to better yourself, you try to educate yourself, you expand your horizons. And the one thing that we've just talked to them about is just be cautious, understand ramifications in tomorrow and understand them in 6 weeks and 6 months, and is how it all plays out. So like I said, I commend them for how they've grown, how they've matured. They understand and have really grasped the whole idea of student athlete, and they have obviously shown, we've always known it, but they're way more than just a basketball player, and I think that has shown through with their actions and statements that they've made here, not only by what they've said but also by what they've done. Their actions that they've followed up a little bit more with trying to make a difference.
Greg, I think last year, because of their experience in postseason play and their positions, Nigel and Bronson were expected to lead that group from early on. As the season played out from start to finish, what do you think they learned about themselves as leaders and what was required to help lead a team?
Well, I think the first thing that they learned, as many of our best leaders have learned here or have done, is that a lot of your leading can be done without saying much, and your performance can really be your biggest statement. So hopefully they've learned that their production and how they play and how they practice can be the loudest words they need to say. So I think that's been the biggest thing that I've seen them take steps forward in. Their habits consistently have improved, and they become better. And they did a very good job at the end as that team grew tighter, as we talked about many times, that for as much as they improved on the court, I saw tenfold that in the locker room in terms of the chemistry and how that culture really grew and benefited from that experience. So I think the thing you keep in mind is that you understand why things didn't go well last year and how we grew and trusted the process along the way and continue to get better. And we have to do the same thing. We can't bypass any of those steps along the way. We have to check every box, as I've said a few times to them, and understand that it is a step-by-step process. We can't fast forward out of October and think we're going to land in February sometime and not have to put in the time and do the right things along the way to make whatever comes down the road a possibility.
When you were in college like Bronson and Nigel, did your awareness expand outside of basketball and everything else? Like they are, they're obviously, I think, aware of a lot more than just what they're doing here.
No, and I don't think we had quite the social issues that are going on right now. There wasn't social media, so that the exposure to that, even if it was happening, you weren't maybe aware of it as immediately as you are now. But I think for both of them, specifically with Bronson, because we were involved so early with his recruitment and started as a freshman in high school, from where he's come from that point to where he is now, and I'm talking well beyond the game of basketball. He's obviously improved immensely as a player, but how he's grown as a person and now his view of the world and understanding of things, it's why you do this. It's why as a coach you try to help people grow through this point in time in their life. But where he's come from then until now is, I'm extremely proud. He wouldn't have understood what that was all about and would have had that knowledge base. And he's really researched it and is very knowledgeable when you talk to him about it, what's important to him and his nationality. And I think you just applaud that, and it shows a kid that's grown up. He's matured. And Nigel's the same way. I mean, obviously Nigel's as intellectual and intelligent as any player I've been around. And he has a very worldly view, well beyond his years. So with both of them, you just stand behind them, help them any way you can, try to guide them, mentor them, and continue to support them along with their teammates.